Hello everybody, my name is Happy and I'd like to welcome you all to my History Reaction channel. Today we are returning to Sabaton for Soldier of Heaven. As always, I will include a link to the original video in the description down below. If you enjoy it, please head over to Sabaton, show them some love and support for their amazing music, their great videos, and their dedication to exposing more people to history through music. All right. With that said, I have absolutely no idea what we're going to be talking about here. I will try to figure it out from the context, I guess. Some of their videos are a little tricky to do that way, but I think we can do this. Let's find out. Okay. High mountains. Cold.
I won't be coming home, I won't be going anywhere, I will guard this post forever. Here on the Alpine slope, where I did my final stand, I shall remain among the ice and snow that binds me to this mountain. A force of nature too strong, sent from above, where spirits lead the way, the winds will never fade.
Okay, so it looks like we're up in the Alps, I'm thinking. It looks like it's probably World War I. So we're probably talking about the Alpine front, which was, saw a lot of fighting in the high mountains between the Italians and the Austro-Hungarians. There's a famous event, White Friday, that occurs here. A massive avalanche buries a lot of people. They're still finding bodies to this day as global warming is causing some of these glaciers to melt and retreat. They're finding World War I bodies up there. There was also another encounter, and I don't remember the name of the battle, sorry about that, where they had the Italians actually tunnel under the Austro-Hungarians and set off an explosion that literally blasts through the Austro-Hungarian forces, but also end up result in the death of a lot of the Italians as well. And in this particular area where you had this fighting going on, a vast majority of the deaths, I believe, were caused by the elements, not by military conflict. But it was important to hold these passes. Somebody had to do it. And it was important to find a route across the passes. Somebody had to do that too. So there was going to be fighting. And yeah, didn't always go well. I'm thinking that's what we're talking about here, though.
White Friday, I'll take
Yeah.
Stairway to heaven. I'm sky high when I die. I'll be immortal forever. I won't return to that mountain. I am the soldier of heaven.
Yeah, they just mentioned White Friday, so that's exactly what we got to be talking about here. White Friday, I believe, was 1916. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, major avalanche. And like I said, in fact, I think they found another body still fairly intact coming out of the glaciers just last year. Because I remember reading an article on that. But there's been quite a few of them over the last decade or so.
I saw the end of war. I watched the soldiers come and go, and I kept my watch forever. So many brave men fell in the battles that were raging down below. I have seen it all, but none will hear my story. All of these years I have been frozen in time.
Yeah.
I prayed for spring to come, but here winter remains.
Yeah, definitely what we're talking about. Frozen in time, over 100 years. Yeah, we're talking about, and we got an explosion going here. That's probably the Italians blowing up the Austro-Hungarian positions.
White Friday.
Red Baron cameo.
I always dreamed that I would soar high above, where spirits lead the way, the winds will never fade. White Friday, I'll take the stairway to heaven. I'm sky high when I die, I'll be immortal forever. I won't return to that mountain. I am the soldier of heaven. White Friday, I'll take the stairway to heaven. I'm sky high when I die, I'll be immortal forever. I won't return to that mountain. I am the soldier of heaven.
Dedicated to all those unknown heroes who never came home. Yeah, there'd be a lot of them from those battles up there because, again, a lot of for example, with the avalanche, they're never going to recover those bodies, right? From the explosions and so on. But terrible terrain to be fighting in for a lot of reasons. Back when I was a geology major, we actually took a trip high into the San Juan Mountains, which are fairly high. Not as high as the Alps, but high enough. They don't have glaciers there anymore, but they do have rock glaciers, which is what we went up to study. But while we were up there, we also looked at evidence of catastrophic avalanches from the winters. And there was plenty of it up there, where you could clearly see where massive avalanches had come down the mountainsides, slammed into the far side of the valley, driving boulders and trees and things literally into the stone. Incredible stuff. I can't imagine what it'd be like fighting in these high altitudes, because not only looking at things like the thinness of the air and the temperatures, but the risk of avalanche, just not a good place to be firing off loud noises or explosions, taking your life into your own hands when you're doing that up there. And yeah, there can be a lot of mortality through attrition due to the elements, the conditions. It's not an area where you're going to have good, strong supply lines coming through. Definitely not a place you'd want to be stationed. A great song and tribute to people who do deserve to be remembered. And keep in mind that, like I said, to this day, we're still finding bodies coming out of the ice up there. It's accelerating due to the warming over the last few years. And I suspect we're going to find a lot more before it's all said and done. And who knows, maybe after that we'll start seeing some soldiers from Carthage being unearthed for the same reason. Who knows, right? But a lot of these bodies they're finding are in remarkable preservation because of the nature of the burial in snow and ice. Terrible stuff, but still kind of fascinating to think that we can see these people as they were, 110 years ago or so? Yeah, right about that. Incredible. Another great song from Sabaton. And I appreciate that they stopped to show their respect. That's one reason that I've come to respect this band. It's not just because they do history, but they clearly show respect. And I've always got to respect people who do that. All right. So there's another Sabaton down. In a couple of weeks, we'll be back for another one. We'll be doing, like I said before, dedicating Thursdays to music videos for a while. Sabaton will be a mainstay, more epic rap battle history, and we'll probably look at some others as well. I've had a few suggestions made. If anybody else knows any music videos, history related, that aren't going to have major copyright issues for me, let me know and I'll take a look at them. So with that said, thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.